In this video, we're going to talk about how feminism ruins dating, and we're going to do that by watching a video from The View where they are just ripping apart men. For now, let's just hop into the video and talk about these 6 mentalities that feminism teaches us that ruin dating.
So there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives. Only one. But when...
All right, here we go. Mentality number 1, that women don't need men. And I know many women reply to this question from emotion, from pain, from heartbreak, even from fear of men, and just saying, oh yeah, we don't need them. But if we think logically for a moment, how sad would it be if we didn't have men? We wouldn't have families, we wouldn't have love, we wouldn't have intimacy with the masculine. Like, truly think about that for a moment, and answer the question, is it really true that we don't need men?
One. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why?
Yeah, so she's trying to point to like, oh, men need us because they're so incompetent, they're idiots, right? Which they're going to get into in a second. But actually what I hear in that is that men are logical in seeing that they do need women, and that men actually want women in their lives, which I think many women don't understand. So let's keep watching the video.
So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless.
There's our mentality number 2. Men are useless. They're not useful to us, and we don't need them. Mentalities 1 and 2 kind of go together.
I mean, and by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men.
And here we can see, this is just a side note, but we can just see here how it's not that she hates men, it's that she hates masculine men. She hates the masculine in a way. And so that's just an interesting little side note that she needed to comment and bring forward the gay men as being okay and acceptable because they are more feminine, they're more like women, so they're okay. But men who are like men, like, no, those are useless idiots.
With the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like my husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can, you know.
Okay, so here's our mentality number 3, that men don't deserve our respect. This woman is talking about her husband of, I think she said 20 years like this on national television, that he is basically a useless idiot. That is the most disrespectful, emasculating thing that I think she could probably ever say about her husband, her long-term mate, her life partner. Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
No.
But I feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. No, he fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables. I enjoy all the man stuff.
So
he does in
but
my
wait a
house.
second. I know what you're going to say, but wait. She's really talking about a servant, let's face it.
No.
It's a handyman she's talking
no,
about.
it's a handy manny.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have...
Well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that. We're not talking about that. What about the inner life of a man? That's what this is about.
I need my man 3...
Yeah, you could pay someone to do that. Who would you pay to do that? A man. I mean... Annoying. But anyways, this woman, she's trying to, defend her husband. She's trying to say why she needs him, but it actually brings us into our mentality number 4, which is that men can be useful objects for us as women, right? They can do the man things around the house. They can be our handyman with benefits. And even though the way that she says is kind of cutesy, it's actually a way that we objectify men, and a way that we think, what can we get from them? Not who are they as human beings? Why are they valuable as human beings? No. Why are they valuable as an object to me for what I can get out of them? Not just why are they valuable in and of themselves for who they are as human beings.
I need my man 3 to 4 times a week. And
Right. So she's making a joke about how he's an object to her, how she needs him for sex. So we either need men for being a handyman or a sex object. But beyond that, as we're going to hear her say in a second, they are useless idiots.
good for you guys. And then the rest of the time I need a wife. Because I've always said
Everyone needs a wife.
No, I tease Vicky, my producer, in the morning. I was like, if you'd like to join Max and I, not
It's so sad that this is funny, like that they find this funny and they're all laughing about this. It's so painful.
not in that way, but like Vicky and I could kill it as a household runners. Like we would be laughing, giggling, doing all the things, and Max would be so psyched I was wasting all my words somewhere else anyway. So it would be a perfect combo. And the other day, Caleb said to me, this is my youngest son, he said, Mama, I want a spare mom. And I didn't know what he meant. And he's like, he said, Genevieve has a spare mom. And I realized the parents were
that, a
divorced.
nanny?
No, divorced. An extra mom, like 2 moms. And so I asked him, because at first I was a little wounded. I was like, what am I not doing? You know, and he's like, no, I just think at bedtime, you always have to pay attention to the other kids too. And if we had a spare mom, Dad, and you could, you know, then you just get to focus on me. And it was so sweet. He didn't ask for a spare dad, by the way. He asked for a spare mom.
I took this totally different.
Okay, so here she's pointing to mentality number 5, which is that a woman's role is more important than a man's role. She doesn't speak to what her husband does around the house or how he provides or protects the family, but she does put on a pedestal, and it is important, the role of a wife, the role of a mother, the way she takes care of the house. You know, it sounds like she's very on top of that, which is beautiful, but it's really sad the way that she has to belittle her husband in lifting herself up and saying, you know, what I do is more important, and he didn't want to spare dad, but he did want to spare mom, because being a mom, being a wife, it's more important than being a dad or being a husband.
I took this totally differently in how I prepped because broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like I think in the political moment, the people who are
Guys, don't hold
saying
back.
what needs to be said in my party, it's all women. The very few men, with the exception of Mike Pence and a few others, are saying what they need to. But in life, like I need my husband. I don't know if I need any other men, but he is irreplaceable.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's what else.
Okay, so even when she says something that supposedly around the table they think is cute, it's still super cruel and disrespectful and speaks to this deeper mentality that we touched on, mentality number 2, that men are useless. And it's so sad because when we look at men as a whole and society in general, rates of suicide are climbing super high, specifically for men. And I think that it does tie back to this mentality of men are useless. And not just the mentality you're saying it, but how that impacts society and relationships and the way that women interact with men from a place of you are a useless idiot, you know? And it's so sad to hear her just in a funny way, thinking this is hilarious, to say that every other man besides her husband is useless. It's not funny at all, and there's really big impact and a sad reality to men who believe that, or a society that pushes that idea.
That's the whole thing. We like our husbands, we just don't need men beyond that.
Yeah, wait till you're married 20 years and you'll see how replaceable
The
they
reason
are.
that women, I think that the reason women can stay married for as long as they do is because they have a lot of girlfriends.
They have a village.
They have girlfriends. Because I always have to initiate the conversations. He'll step up, but I have
I
to
thought you were going
start
to say
them.
initiate.
Oh, I don't-
was like, no,
I just
don't
told
have
you
to
guys,
say
I have 8 girlfriends from Panama here who are girlfriends for 50 years since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, I love it.
So here we go. This is mentality number 6, our final mentality, that women are better than men. So in the ways that women initiate, we're better than men. In the ways that we need to connect with girlfriends, because girlfriends are better than our husbands, better than men. And in general, women are just better than men. No wonder her husband doesn't initiate sex. I mean, you seem like a completely disrespectful, emasculating woman. I can't imagine what it's like to be in a relationship with her. I'm not trying to be mean, but this is something that she's just showing this way of being that many women are doing and acting out in their relationships. And then, just so many things in this video, but let's listen to the rest of this.
Oh, I love
And it's that, and they were saying yesterday that they've gone through divorces, they've gone through challenges, and having that village of women has made it possible.
Well, we
for
are
them.
more collaborative than men. I think there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because women
Again, I
have
think we have to make a
because
difference,
women,
differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are
in their own category.
yeah, but we're
Women
not
are
married to gay
independent.
men, okay?
Oh,
But women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about
It's
sports,
socializing, yeah.
cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings.
Okay, so here we go. Women are better than men. We're collaborative. We're more emotional, and that's better. Like, you can even see her face of disgust when she talks about how men talk about cars and, like, stupid stuff, and, like, we're talking about emotions, and we're so much greater. than men.
Maybe he's gay. Next.
So okay, the final thing she just said was that her husband talks about feelings with his friends, and she said maybe he's gay. So even her defending her husband, it comes from a place of, well, look at, my husband can be like more like a girlfriend, like more like a woman, like he talks about his feelings, you know. And so even within that, not that men can't talk about their feelings, but it just speaks to this dichotomy that they're really dramatizing here, that women are better because we talk about our feelings, and men are inferior because they don't. And there's so many reasons for that. I think that's just the differences in our hormones and our biology, but also in our socialization. And yeah, it just feels like these women are stepping on men instead of acknowledging how the ways that men are different are complementative towards the feminine, and how, you know, what have their husbands really given to their lives, whether it be children or a roof over their heads or support as they're pursuing their careers. Like, I can't imagine the ways that these men in their lives have loved them and supported them. And I'm not saying, I don't know their relationships, I'm not saying they're perfect. And I know that this is a common dynamic where women want men to step up more. However, when we are criticizing and belittling men, it's never going to cause them to step up. It's either going to cause them to step out or to step down. Now, I know all these women are obviously married, but these mentalities impact dating, of course, so much as well. Because if you're going into dating thinking men are useless, I'm better than men, men are stupid in that they talk about cars or they're not as emotional as me, you are never, hear me on this, you are never going to attract a man in his healthy masculine. You will attract a man who's feminized. You will attract a man who demonizes his own masculinity, and you will attract a relationship where you have to be in the masculine. And then what I see is that women get so resentful about that without seeing how they've contributed and co-created that dynamic. And it wasn't always like this for me. I definitely used to be man hater number one. I was so convinced I didn't need men that I decided to stop dating them altogether and just date women, because I thought, well, that's the answer to all my problems in my life. And obviously I found that that wasn't true. And through the process of actually getting reconnected with men, realizing I wanted to date men, I had to confront these really deep fears and resentments and mentalities that I was holding on to, and deconstruct them and actually find the truth that these were covering up. And once I did that, I could actually call in a man who was in his healthy masculine and respect him, so that our relationship could grow together and just get better and better and better. And so that's what I invite you to look at. If you have any of these mentalities, or if you're like still thinking those things are true, that's okay. I was you, and trust me, it's okay. It's a journey to unlearn these things, but I'm definitely here to help you and show you a different way. And my husband and I actually created a free training for you, which is 3 steps to go from being single to being in a relationship with a man who is in his healthy masculine. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link that we have down below in the show notes, and go ahead and while you're down there, comment your biggest takeaway, and I'll see you in the next video.